You can feel it in the air. Change is coming to Los Angeles. The Lakers are once again in the middle of swirling rumors, high-stakes negotiations, and whispered trade possibilities. But this time, the target is not just one player. We're talking about a potential $87 million frontcourt duo that could transform the team's identity overnight. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Now, here's the catch. The Lakers are trying to do it all without giving up the crown jewels. No sacrificing their most valuable assets, no mortgaging their future draft picks. It's a delicate balancing act, and so far, Rob Pelinka and the front office have been walking that tightrope with precision. Early in free agency, LA suffered a small blow. Dorian Finney-Smith, a player who could have fit their needs, chose to sign with the Houston Rockets. A loss, yes, but the Lakers didn't stand still. They moved quickly, adding 3 players to the roster, 2 of them scooped right out of the buyout market. Quiet moves, but calculated ones. It's all part of a bigger plan. The organization has been building not just for this season, but for the seasons to come, with a particular focus on the summer of 2027. That's when the Lakers believe their window could be at its absolute widest. But here's where it gets interesting. While the long-term plan is clear, this summer was still expected to deliver a major move. A splash. A headline. Something that would send shockwaves through the league. Yet, it hasn't happened. And as things stand, it probably won't. Still, opportunities have been there. Real ones. Including the possibility of doing business with an old rival, the Portland Trail Blazers. On paper, the Blazers have exactly what the Lakers need: size, defense, and championship-caliber toughness. And at the top of that wish list, center Robert Williams III. Williams is no stranger to Lakers fans. His name has been linked to LA for what feels like years. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches, he's a defensive menace, one of the best rim protectors in the entire league. When he's healthy, he changes games. He's the type of player who can anchor a defense and turn playoff series in your favor. But Williams is not the only Blazer drawing LA's interest. There's also Matisse Thybulle, a wing defender with a relentless motor, incredible instincts, and the ability to suffocate the league's best scorers. A 2-time NBA All-Defensive Team selection, Thybulle has a knack for creating turnovers, averaging 1.6 steals and nearly a block per game for his career. Imagine it, Williams patrolling the paint, Thybulle locking down the perimeter. That's a defensive wall no Western Conference offense would want to face. Together, they'd form a defensive identity the Lakers haven't had in years, a pairing worth every bit of that $87 million valuation. So, why hasn't it happened? Well, according to Dan Woik of The Athletic, the reality is far more complicated than the fantasy. He reports that a package deal involving both Williams and Thybulle is unlikely. And his reasoning is blunt. It's hard to believe a team this close to the first apron, a team that can't even sign a free agent right now, would gamble on not one, but 2 players with no consistent track record of availability. That's the sticking point. Both Williams and Thybulle have battled serious durability issues. Last season, Williams played just 20 games. In his 7 years in the league, he's never topped 61 appearances. Thybulle wasn't much luckier, just 15 games played last year. For the Lakers, it's a gamble. The upside is undeniable. Add these 2, and you could be looking at a legitimate title contender. But the risk. You're investing heavily in players who haven't been able to stay on the floor. And yet, in this league, championships aren't won without taking chances. History shows it. Sometimes the boldest moves, the ones that scare you the most, are the ones that lead to the parade down Figueroa. The Lakers have time to decide. The trade market is still open, and as we've seen before, the NBA landscape can shift overnight. One phone call, one moment of desperation from another team, and the whole equation changes. 4 months now, one question has been echoing through Lakers Nation. What's next for LeBron James? The 4-time champion. The Finals MVP. The global icon. The man who, at 40 years old, is still one of the best basketball players on the planet. And yet, his future in Los Angeles has never felt more uncertain. On paper, the Lakers should be confident. They have not just LeBron, but Luka Doncic, a generational superstar in his prime. 2 of the top 15 players in the league sharing the same court, wearing purple and gold. That's a combination most franchises would dream about. But this summer, things shifted. Quietly, subtly, but undeniably. The front office has begun shaping the team's long-term vision around Doncic and the next era of Lakers basketball. That's not unusual. After all, Doncic is younger and has many elite seasons ahead of him. Still, that decision sends a message. And from what's been reported, LeBron might not be thrilled with that message. You can almost feel the tension beneath the surface. Trade rumors have been circling for weeks. Social media chatter. Speculative headlines. Whispers about whether LeBron could actually decide to walk away from Los Angeles, even after everything he's built here. Then came the update we've all been waiting for. According to Dan Woik of The Athletic, all signs point to LeBron being in Los Angeles for training camp at the end of September, and playing the entire season in purple and gold. That's the expectation inside the organization. But Woik also made one thing clear. LeBron is keeping every possibility open for what happens next. All indications are that James will be in training camp at the end of September and will play his 23rd NBA season with the Lakers. But I really don't want to make any guesses, informed or not, about how James views his future, either as a Laker or as an NBA player. It's a careful answer, because when it comes to LeBron James, there's always more than one layer to the story. Here's the thing. In over 20 years in the NBA, LeBron has never asked for a trade. Not once. Every time he's changed teams, going from Cleveland to Miami, from Miami back to Cleveland, from Cleveland to LA, it's been through free agency. That's the pattern. And at this stage of his career, with only a couple of seasons left, it's hard to imagine him breaking that habit now. That's not to say there aren't options. But the truth is, the calendar isn't on his side. We're already deep into the off-season. Rosters are mostly set. The chances of finding the right trade partner, the right fit, the right scenario, they're slim. If LeBron truly wants to explore another chapter, the most logical move would be to play this season out, then opt out next summer. And so, for now, the Lakers are planning for LeBron to be all in. They believe this team can compete. They've addressed needs, most notably at the center position, giving them more size, more presence in the paint, and more defensive stability. They've kept their top stars, added complementary pieces, and, perhaps most importantly, given LeBron and Doncic an entire offseason to build chemistry. Think about that. Last year, Doncic was still adjusting. New city, new teammates, new system. This year, he's comfortable. He knows the playbook. He knows where LeBron wants the ball. And LeBron, he's had months to study Doncic's game, to learn his tendencies, to find those little openings that only a veteran of his experience can exploit. The Lakers see that as their secret weapon. Make no mistake, LeBron may be 40, but his impact is still enormous. His court vision, his leadership, his ability to take over games in key moments. It's why the Lakers still believe they can hang another banner in the rafters this season. But even as the optimism builds for this year, the question lingers. What happens after? Will this be LeBron's last season in Los Angeles? Will he choose to finish his career somewhere else? Could he retire altogether? For now, the only thing certain is this. When training camp opens, LeBron James will be there, wearing purple and gold, chasing another championship. Beyond that, the future is unwritten, and for a player like LeBron, every chapter still has the potential to shock the basketball world. When you think of iconic franchises in sports, the Los Angeles Lakers are right there at the top. This is a team that's been home to Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. A team that's built its entire identity on winning, and doing it with some of the biggest names in basketball history. So it's no surprise that when the NBA off-season rolls around, the Lakers are always in the middle of the conversation. Big trades, free agent signings, blockbuster moves. This is where the rumors live. And lately, the rumors have gone absolutely wild. Some fans have started imagining the ultimate scenario. Not just one superstar joining Luka Doncic in LA, but two. Two of the most dominant players in the game today, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic, wearing purple and gold, playing side by side with Luka. Just think about that for a moment. Luka running the point, picking apart defenses with his vision. Giannis slashing to the basket with that unstoppable Euro step. And Jokic, arguably the most skilled big man the game has ever seen, finding open teammates, hitting shots, and controlling the paint. It wouldn't just be a championship contender. It would be a dynasty waiting to happen. But here's the question. Could it actually happen? Or is this just the latest off-season dream cooked up by hopeful fans? Well, one Lakers insider decided to set the record straight. Dan Woik of The Athletic weighed in on the possibility of either superstar making their way to Los Angeles. And his answer? It's not exactly what Laker Nation was hoping to hear. Do I think either is realistic as a trade target? No, not really, Woik said. The market would need to be way suppressed by a player saying they would simply walk to the Lakers in free agency, so 28 other teams shouldn't even consider bidding, and still the Lakers' offer would be thin. In other words, unless Giannis or Jokic came right out and said, it's Lakers or nothing, and made it clear they'd sign in LA no matter what, the Lakers just don't have the trade assets to compete with the offers other teams could put on the table. And here's where the two superstars are very different. Giannis Antetokounmpo has at least hinted at the possibility of leaving Milwaukee in the past. He's made it clear that as long as the Bucks are legitimate contenders, he's committed to staying. But if he feels their championship window is closing, that's when things could get interesting. The Lakers could be in position to make a move, whether through a blockbuster trade or waiting patiently for free agency. Nikola Jokic, though? That's a whole different story. The reigning Finals MVP has shown absolutely no signs of wanting out of Denver. In fact, Woik suggests there's a better chance Jokic retires at the end of his current contract than there is of him asking for a trade or testing the free agent market. He's happy in Denver, he's winning in Denver, and the Nuggets are built around him in a way few franchises have ever built around a star. So, if you're a Lakers fan looking for hope, Giannis is the more realistic of the two targets. And even then, realistic might still be a stretch. Because even if Giannis decided to leave Milwaukee, the competition to land him would be fierce. Every contender in the league would want in on those trade talks. And without a star like Anthony Davis still in the fold, the Lakers' best trade chips are limited. Still, this is the Lakers we're talking about. They've pulled off big moves before when the odds didn't look great. Remember, there was a time when no one thought they'd land Shaquille O'Neal. There was a time when Pau Gasol seemed out of reach. And LeBron James? People questioned if he'd ever leave Cleveland a second time. Sometimes, history has a way of repeating itself in Los Angeles. For now, though, the front office's focus remains on building around Luka Doncic and the roster they currently have, making smart moves, keeping their flexibility, and staying ready for the moment when an opportunity presents itself. Because here's the thing about the Lakers. Even if this summer isn't the one where they land Giannis or Jokic, there's always another chance coming. The spotlight never leaves LA. The phone lines are always open. And the dream of that next superstar walking through the doors of Crypto.com arena? That never dies.